Is this really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't. What's happening?
Run.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Today we're going to be reviewing, for sleepy bedtime, story time, whatever I'm gonna call this, Alien Romulus. This is the most gorgeous and the dumbest goddamn movie I have ever seen. It is the bimbo of movies, and I kind of fucking liked it. 3 out of 5, I would see it again. So what is this movie? It starts with tone setting, beautiful visuals. Completely silent. You can hear other people in the movie theater chewing and jangling their keys for some goddamn reason. It feels grimy and worn, and everything's covered in dust. And then we get to this mining planet, which is a corporate hellscape. You are trapped here. Your parents, or their parents, has brought you here to live your entire goddamn life. And even when you're about to get out, well, you're fucking at the mercy of this corporation who says fuck you. It gave me vibes of old sailing ships where you're just stuck on the ship. They want to abandon you on a goddamn island. Oh fucking well, good luck to you. And the main character is a nondescript teenage woman, and she has what she calls her brother, who's like an autistic android that tells jokes. And he has this look on his face like he has Down syndrome, or that he's constantly confused. He's just subject to this world like she is, but just so much more desperately not prepared for the world, and she has to take care of him. And it's this dynamic that takes them through this whole movie, and it's great. And then the movie finally starts. A bunch of teenagers find this signal in space. They spot this old Weyland-Yutani derelict ship in space, and they're like, okay, we're never gonna fucking get off here. This planet is unfair and killing everyone, and just, it is the planet of no sun and human misery, and we're gonna get the fuck off of it. So we're gonna get this ragtag group of fucking idiots. We're gonna get on this spaceship. We need your android to do the controls. We're gonna go up there, and well, you know that it's an alien movie where things are gonna go wrong. You know all this. It is wonderful. So they get up to the spaceship. Things are going well. The crew is pattering with each other, displaying their characteristics and forming connections and dynamics. And you're touring the ship, and they get into a situation where there's this very specific door that kind of closes part way, and it's just enough to get them, to let them get this hard drive through that they need to upgrade the robot guy. And it's all very particular in that, oh, this situation is formed perfectly to do this one thing. That's the exact thing we needed to do to set off the plot of the movie. And it's like, hey, okay, alright, you know what, I'll give you this. And from there, they're trapped in this room with the alien babies, It's tense. It's wonderful. Things are crackling. Some people don't know things. Some people do know things. And finally get through the door. And one person gets caught. Very Alien movie. Everything's chugging along. We're doing great. People get stuck on one half of the ship. They find another android and they put a chip, like a super android chip in his brain. They upgrade this guy. And now his face is all different. His attitudes are different. He started the movie with one command: I must protect Rain. The main character of the movie, Rain, his sister. And he gets an upgrade, and now he has the Weyland-Yutani directive. I must do what's good for the company. So we have this possible dynamic that they kind of give up on. It becomes like an evil chip in his brain, because Weyland-Yutani is evil. So as long as he has the chip in his brain, he's not going to take care of people anymore. What really, really should have happened, and I hate to do this to movies, but what obviously really should have happened is he should have had two directives at the same time. So he has to do the alien egg thing and take care of his sister at the same time. And between those paths is where you come up with a really interesting character. But instead, it's an evil chip in his brain that makes him smart but also evil. I missed this part earlier, but they have this juice, this alien human juice. That's the point of this entire spaceship, was a science ship where they made hybrid alien mice, I guess. And the alien mice become bigger. The formula can bring back crushed mice from the dead, and bring them back to like normal life. They like crack their bones, they become a perfectly normal, healthy mouse again. And then the mice later become a bigger alien mice. It's kind of fun. It's a little stupid, but it's Hollywood. It's tense in like a very gamey kind of way. Like, we gotta get through this hallway, and you can't sweat, and you can't have fear because that'll change your body temperature, and that kind of thing. So they're making their way through there. On the other side of the ship, an alien is hatching, and there's tension over there, and slowly they're making their way towards each other. And eventually, they find each other, but the super smart android is like, well, we can't go through this door. Like, obviously, there's an alien. I can visually see the alien, even though for some reason you humans can't see it, and I'm not gonna just point because it's just right fucking there. Like, they're screaming at him, open the door, open the door. He's like, no, fucking, he doesn't point, like, it's right there. He's like, no, it's a trap, even though he can literally see and point at the alien. It's starting to drive me crazy, but okay. Alright, well, he's got this weird directive in his head. Maybe he doesn't want to get close to the door. He doesn't want to point at the alien because it might show the alien he knows things. Like, you can assume a lot of things. Like, he doesn't want the humans to get close to the door because then the alien could hit through the glass, which happens a few times in this movie. There's just glass in between whatever the problem is and them, and they spend like 10 minutes not just breaking the fucking glass. So, same with the aliens. Like, there's an alien on the side of the door. The people have no weapons. They're completely defenseless. And the alien doesn't choose to, like, fucking alien his way through this glass. It's weird. It's not very intelligent. But this is not why the movie is super dumb. So anyways, all the people on the far side of the ship that they're trying to get to get captured or die. And so the people are like, all right, well, we're going to have to find an alternate way to get to the ship, to get off this ship. It's like, okay. So they start making their way an alternate way. And it's just these survivors left. The android and the main girl and the guy she has a crush on. It's just the main three making their way an alternate way. And they find this den of aliens because I guess this ship got taken over at some point and by the aliens, and they just went into hibernation. So, okay. So they find the den hallway of aliens. And all the aliens are like stuck to the walls around this hallway. And there's like a laser on the floor for no particular reason. There's just a blue laser with smoke on the floor from Aliens 1. From the first scene of Aliens 1 with the eggs. There's just that on the floor. And it's gorgeous and I love it. I don't know why it's fucking there. But okay. And this is where the movie starts to get real dumb. And it's like, there's no aliens on the catwalk. There's just aliens around the catwalk. So they can walk down the catwalk completely fine. While I guess the aliens are sleeping. So they start doing that. And they find the girl. The alien that they just saw take the girl. Put the girl on the wall with all the sleeping aliens. Did not wake up any of the sleeping aliens. Did not put an alien baby inside the girl. She's just on the wall, kind of slowly bleeding out. And the girl they find is pregnant. That's part of the plot. So they find the pregnant girl on the wall. And so they pull the girl off the wall. They're like, oh my God, she's dying. And they have this juice, this alien human juice. They have these syringes and they're like, well, this girl's dying. We could make her a superhuman. And they're like, no, I don't know. That's bad. And it's like, yeah, that's obviously bad. So they don't do it. So they start taking this girl down the elevator to the spaceship. And then all the aliens wake up and a bunch of face huggers show up. And they're like, oh shit. All right, well, we got to get onto this elevator. Come on, elevator, get down here. The elevator gets there. And it's an elevator where the doors aren't normal doors. They're doors filled with, it's just like chicken wire. It's not even chicken wire. It's just like big square holes, just a fence. The door is a fence. And they're like, oh my God, get into the elevator to get away from these face huggers that can fit through the holes in the thing. And there's like a giant hole in the middle of like anything that wanted to, any of the 10 aliens chasing them or any of the face huggers could get through this door, and none of them do for just no reason. They just cut away and it's just like they didn't make it. Okay, fine. So one of the guys dies, gets carried away before they get to the elevator, gets carried away. The android gets hit. I didn't even see that happen, but he gets hit, and when the android gets hit, he starts convulsing on the floor. So there's a lot going on here, but one guy's dead, pregnant girl, main girl on elevator, robot dude having a seizure on the floor, and there's just an alien over the dude just staring at him while the girls get away in the elevator. So they start going up halfway through the elevator, and then she stops the elevator, gets on, I guess it's just a ladder, to go down, and she sends the dying pregnant lady by herself up to the spaceship, and she's like, hey, take these things up to the spaceship. If you get on, you'll survive. You just hit autopilot, get in the cryopods, you'll be fine. And so she leaves the dying pregnant lady to go do that. The dying pregnant lady gets to the spaceship, injects herself with the formula, with the become an alien human hybrid formula. She doesn't know anything about it. There is zero actual reason given for her to do this. She just fucking does it so that we can have an alien baby later in the movie, obviously. And so she does that. She gets up to the spaceship. She doesn't hit the autopilot. Like, she has no reason not to trust that the autopilot will get her home. And so she gets up to the spaceship. She puts herself in the cryopod. She doesn't hit the autopilot. She just fucking does nothing and injects herself with the make me an alien baby formula. So what, why? Like, there's another android on the ship. She doesn't know about him. He's trying to trick her. It's a whole thing. It's not important. I'm not including it. It's not fucking important. But man, it's just none of that needed to happen. Starting with the elevator with the giant many giant holes in it that could easily be gotten through. Starting with that, the lady injecting herself, just completely pointless. So the main girl goes down to the hallway again. The hallway, I will remind you, covered in sleeping aliens that have already awoken. There was like 10 of them. They already woke up, and they're smart aliens. They know, they saw the elevator go up. They could follow the elevator go up. They do later in the movie follow the elevator go back up. They just don't. They just disappear. The alien standing over the android, he's gone. The android completely untouched, besides like he got hit once. But anyways, he's on the floor and she's like having an emotional moment with him for like 5 minutes while like she's one of 2 things alive on the ship and the aliens don't give a fuck. Face huggers, nowhere to be seen. The fucking 10-20 face huggers that were down there, nowhere to be seen. All the aliens completely gone. She's having an emotional moment with this guy, and she takes out his super smart boy AI chip, and he's back to his good old happy puppy dog self. And then all the aliens start showing up again. And it's her and the robot and the android. She has a 400 round auto targeting rifle that she cannot use because the blood will eat through the ship and it will create a vacuum into space. They're like on the bottom level of the ship. So if any blood falls, it will fall through the floor and create a vacuum and kill them all, right? So she's not allowed to use the gun, but she's like, oh wait, if I turn off the gravity, I can use the gun. So she does. She turns off the gravity. They're on this the aliens are charging at her down this hallway, right? Imagine this, down the alien hallway. And it's a walkway. They could crawl under the walkway. Aliens are supposed to be these smart motherfuckers. They don't crawl under the walkway where they can't see her. They all crawl all completely out in the open, super easily getting shot. For some reason, when there's more than one alien, they all become fucking stupid and they just crawl and get shot. They could have crawled under the walkway. It's really dumb. It's obviously stupid when you're watching it. She kills like 10 aliens. 10, 15, 20 aliens. Facehuggers still nowhere to be seen for some reason. They just fucked off. For the entire rest of the movie, they're just fucking gone. They were back for a half second for no reason. I hope you can hear the frustration in my voice of this movie. So they fuck off. She kills a bunch of aliens. Their blood is like circling in the hallway. And for some reason, the mechanics of this gun become extremely important. She kills one single alien with like 2 pulls of the trigger. Maybe 10, maybe 20 bullets. But she looks at the readout, half her fucking bullets are gone. Okay, alright. So she starts killing 9 other aliens. And then she gets down to like where it's bleaking, where there's like essentially 1 pull of the trigger left is what it looks like. And so, okay, she killed all the aliens. She has to get down this hallway. So she has to get through this flying acid because the acid is now in the air because it's 0 gravity, right? And she just like space jumps into this acid, into a hallway filled with floating acid. And so here's another dumb part of the movie. She could have just held onto the rail of this fucking... She doesn't use the railing to claw herself along. No. She space jumps and then almost gets hit by a fucking acid in the way. Like, she misjudges the jump. And so she's headed straight for the acid. So she fires her gun out of the way and then she lands on the walkway. And then she can start crawling along the walkway again. And it's like, okay, so that was her last shot, I guess. From her gun. It's not. You'll see it's not. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway. Oh my god, I'm remembering how ridiculous it is. So anyways, she makes it down this hallway. They get to the elevator door. They close it like the grates, and an alien grabs her leg through the grates. Doesn't use his tail to lash at her, doesn't rip her fucking leg off, doesn't do the head thing where it snaps and that can like fucking break skulls, doesn't slash at the fucking fence that could easily probably slash through. No, it fucking grabs her leg, holds onto her for like 30 seconds in a very Hollywood way. She again fires around at it or whatever, and she gets away. So anyways, they have to do this. So that's another shot at 0, at fucking 1 pixel left of ammunition in this 400 round mag, and it's just I don't know, man. Space guns, I guess it's really dumb. So anyways, she has to do another space jump because the elevator is up with the pregnant girl, or the elevator. Oh my god, I'm remembering this now. So the gravity is off, which has happened multiple times in the movie, and the elevator will not work while the gravity is off because it shows the cable wires completely become disattached from this spool at the top of the elevator. And it's like, if the wires would ever come unattached in that way, the elevator would be completely broken because they come off of the mechanism that operates the elevator. And it's like, even if gravity came on, those would never go back on the spool. So this elevator is broken and the gravity has gone off like supposedly for 20 years on and off over and over and multiple times through the movies. And it's just like, it breaks for this specific moment for no reason, just no reason. So the elevator is out of commission. So she has to, now we're finally to the part. So now she has to do the space jump. So she does it. And now a bunch of aliens are chasing her. Like another 10 aliens are chasing her up the shaft. And then at some point, the gravity has to cycle so the ship won't blow up, is what they say. For this spaceship, and this spaceship alone, every 30 seconds, every minute, every 2 minutes, the gravity has to turn back on so the entire spaceship won't blow up for no reason. So she's halfway down the shaft and she can't make it to a handhold because she did another space jump. So she fucking starts falling down the shaft towards 10 aliens chasing her. And one of the aliens, I kid you not, one of the aliens catches her with its tail, like cradles her and catches her with its tail, completely unharming her for like 15 seconds, half a minute, whatever, until it gets shot by the android dude who found the gun that was like floating off but got caught on a loop that was like near enough to him, and the gravity came back on because she lost the gun at some point for some reason I can't even remember. And so he fires like 3 fucking volleys into this alien and he shoots like 8 more times with 0 ammo, and it's just exhausting how fucking stupid this movie is. It's like it's set up the mechanics and then completely ignored them. I don't. There's like 10 aliens chasing them, and none of them matter. And he kills this one and saves her, and they get up the shaft, and he kills like more aliens or whatever. And we're not even done. We're not even done with how stupid this movie is. They get on the spaceship. They find the pregnant lady and passed out. She didn't hit autopilot. She injected herself, and that didn't like fix her wounds, even though that's the entire point of the injection. Like, she's completely unaffected. She is still bleeding out and dying, even though she injected herself. They start taking off. The cryopod starts going off, and alert, alert, alert. And it's like, all right, what's going on? They open up the pod. The pregnant lady who injected herself, she has a giant stomach now, because obviously the fucking thing she injected herself with for no reason has infected her baby, and the baby is huge in her stomach, and it's giving birth, and every single person is just standing there being like, what's going on? As this baby is birthed, an egg comes out. They like try and move the egg, but it's an acid egg, so she drops the acid egg through and the acid egg like eats a hole through the floor or some shit, but doesn't eat a hole through the next layer of floor, just the first layer of floor, just far enough away so they can't get to the egg, while the egg hatches an entire massive being in like, no joke, 30 seconds. Like, an entire bigger than an alien being is hatched faster than anything could possibly. I don't know where it gets the materials to make it huge. Nothing makes any sense. It didn't eat anyone. It's just like, oh, I was born and now I'm a massive creature for some reason. This creature goes to the mom, and the mom's like, there's ooze coming out of her breasts or something like that. And it was like, oh, well, this could be interesting. It's gonna like breastfeed, and that's like weird, but now I guess it kills the mom or something. They like pulled their punches on that one. And like the android, he gets his throat slashed. He's bleeding out. Man, at this point, I was just so fucking done with this movie. Like, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Like, spaceships are, like, falling into the rings of an ice planet. And there's, like, gorgeous sunsets, and all the environments are so pretty. But they're also so dumb. Like, the final part of this movie is, like, she puts on a spacesuit because a cryo tube went off, and a cryo tube, when it breaks or whatever, fills an entire spaceship with freezing ice. For some reason, I guess it's super, super cold ice or whatever. And so she gets in a spacesuit and she puts on this tether, but it gets tangled up in the exact lever that she needs to pull. And the alien is chasing her, but it tricks her and gets like in front of her. But like, she gets half of the 4 levers or the 2 levers she needs to pull to drop out half of this spaceship. And either her or the fucking creature along with it, and somehow all of the levers get pulled at the exact right moment by this tether, and it's a lot of dumb. It's a lot of dumb. And it's like, because there's like a breach in the spaceship, or because the cryo tube went off or something, the spaceship shuts down midway through flight. Like, they've already hit autopilot, they're on their way, and because something goes wrong, the spaceship shuts down. And because the spaceship shuts down, it completely loses all momentum, for one. Like, it was going away. And it starts getting dragged back into this ring around this Saturn-like planet, into this ring that will kill you ring. And yeah, for no reason. So the spaceship starts falling backwards towards this ring for no fucking reason. And so they have a time limit, and at the perfect moment, for no goddamn reason, the alien who was born in 30 seconds, even though the mom was unchanged and not healed, and not like a super powerful creature like the serum should have made her, or she dies or whatever, and the alien gets trapped, and like everything's fine. And the main girl and the android make it off. I feel like I did this review different because it's granular how stupid this movie was, and I really, really wanted to share it. So you heard all that. You basically got the movie, I hope. Now, what should have happened? I don't usually do this, I don't think. But what should have happened was the alien serum, the alien super soldier serum, and the android should have been foils to each other. Because there's two sides of the spaceship. It's a space station. Half of it is Romulus, half of it is Remus, which are like the old the old Roman myth about Caesar and his brother were born and fed on wolves to become these super beings to lead the empire. And so the android gets the chip in his head, right? And it makes him super smart, but it also makes him super unethical. And the serum should have been a foil to that. You inject someone with it and they become super strong, but they also become super evil, like alien evil. Like, I have a connection with these aliens and I can communicate with them evil. And the robot who got the super chip in him, he could communicate with the ship more, and he could communicate with the evil android more, that I didn't really mention because it's kind of whatever. But if you want more power, you go towards these super powerful factions, but you lose your humanity. You lose the joking brother that you had this whole time. And it could have easily have been the main character girl versus the super smart android, because partway through the movie, that's exactly what it looked like it was setting up. It looked like the android was going to play chess basically with this fucking alien, because the alien set up, I don't know if you remember this from when I was describing it way before, the alien set up this sniper trap. There was the pregnant lady banging on the door to get out, and the android was like, no, I'm not gonna open that fucking door. And the alien was sitting back, and they saw each other, and it was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna get this chess movie between these two super smart beings playing with the lives of these people in between, with the setting of the spaceship as the board. And I was so fucking hyped. It was so super cool. And they just dropped the ball like 18 fucking times in a row. They shot that gun that had no ammo, just like, no joke, like 18 more times. He unloads, he holds on the trigger at some point. It's the dumbest shit in the world. They set up their own rules and then they break them. They set up these character moments, these dynamics that are wonderful, and then they just fucking drop the ball with them. It really feels like the first part of the script was written well, and then the second half was just like a writer who doesn't know how to finish stories or something. I've heard brought up that an AI was brought in to write this script. I fully believe that, because like it's just obvious stuff. It's just really easy stuff. Like, it's any person who sees this movie is like, that's dumb. Aren't you professionals? Shouldn't you see that? And they just ignore it, and it's just, what happened, man? It's the saddest fucking thing in the world, because it is a gorgeous movie, and it is a cool fucking concept, and they were meshing together, and it was going great, and they just dropped the ball. I guess that's pretty much all I have to say on it. It is a gorgeous film with some really, really dumb set like pieces, like literal pieces of the set are specifically Hollywood crafted for this specific scene, and it's really obvious and it's really dumb. It's like, why is that there? That's a really weird combination. Oh, for this moment a minute later that they need this exact setup for. And it's just like, oh, well, that's lazy and bad. Was that a bad choice by the set design? Like, why did they have this fucking fence door on the elevator? Why? I can't, man, the elevator is the point in this movie where everything becomes the dumbest thing you have ever seen. This is probably the dumbest movie I've ever seen. And I don't know why. Anyways, I'll probably watch it again because it's gorgeous and it's fun, and I would love to imagine the movie it could have been. Yeah, 3 out of 5. I'll watch it again. I'll probably hit mute as soon as they see that goddamn elevator. And yeah, I don't know. Don't see it. I usually say go see the movie as my end card, but don't see this. This is something rotten happened here. This is don't pay them to make stuff like this. This is bad. I feel like this is the second AI movie I've seen. There was this, and there was, I don't remember the other movie that came out recently, the AI little boy movie that had the same exact problem at the end. Like, nothing started to make sense anymore, and everything was falling apart, and like, it had no sense of time anymore, and stupid stuff was happening, and just, It's the hallmark of AI. It really feels like that. And I gotta say, to anyone using this tech, just like, I don't know, just get a writer to do a single pass over it. Like, all the elements are there. You just gotta tighten those screws. You just gotta connect the connectors. You gotta flick some light bulbs, make sure some things happen. But it's some really obvious bad stuff. And this could have been a great movie, even if it was AI written. If you just check that stuff at the end, man. If anyone who ever read this script, if you made an animatic beforehand, just anyone, any person can see everything that's wrong with this movie, and it is fucking tragic because some parts of this fucking film team nailed it, and the actors were really good. They were all really good, especially the android guy. Like, he knocked it out. He stole this movie. He was brilliant. But it's tragic. It's really tragic.
No, what is it?
Get it away from me.
There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in
I
the
don't
water?
know, there's just something in the fucking water.